I gave my sister $650 a week, but at family dinner, she said, "You don't help enough. Don't be a cheapskate." My parents took her side and said it was true. I smiled and said, "Then live without my money." And left, canceling everything, even their rent. This morning, her husband came to beg me, and my sister screamed, "Please don't cut us off." You never expect your family to stab you in the back, at least not really. You grow up thinking that blood means something and builds a sort of unspoken loyalty, but sometimes it just makes people feel entitled to take more from you. When they run out of ways to take from you, they turn on you as if you're the problem. My sister Hannah is 2 years younger than me. Like most siblings, we were close when we were kids. Somewhere along the way, after she married Ryan, things shifted, slowly at first, then all at once. Ryan hasn't had a job in 5 years, not one. He claims that the job market is poor and that employers don't want to hire someone with vision. He starts projects, gets bored, and quits before anything turns into an actual paycheck. Meanwhile, Hannah doesn't work either. Sure, she has 2 kids, but that never stopped other people. It's not that they can't work, they just didn't want to. When their second child was born and they were about to be evicted, I didn't wait for them to ask for help. I stepped in. I told myself that's what family does. I started sending $650 every week without fail, no conditions, no reminders. I never threw it in their face. My wife wasn't thrilled about it, but she didn't argue with me either. She trusted me to do what felt right. At first, they were grateful, or at least they pretended to be. But some people's gratitude has an expiration date. It wasn't long before Hannah started making little comments. She'd say things like, "Some people don't understand what real struggle looks like," she said. "I was lucky to have a job that let me play hero." She rolled her eyes when I posted vacation pictures. She once called my wife spoiled at a barbecue because we bought a new car. Yet every time she needed something, I was the first person she texted. Rent short this month, car battery died, medical bills, baby formula. I pay for it all. I told myself that no matter what she said, she was my sister, that's what you do for family. Then came that dinner. It was just a regular Saturday night at our parents' house, roast chicken, mashed potatoes, and kids running around. My mom was talking about her garden. My dad had the game on low in the background. Everything was completely ordinary until it wasn't. We were halfway through dessert when Hannah set down her fork and looked at me across the table calmly. She said, "You're not helping enough. Don't be stingy." I blinked. I thought she was joking. I waited for someone else to laugh. No one did. Then, without looking up from his plate, my dad added, "Well, she's not wrong." In that moment, everything inside me went quiet. It was as if a part of me shut down and another part came online. I looked at the people I'd spent my whole life trying to help and support. They looked back at me as if I hadn't done enough. So I smiled, stood up, and said, "Then live without my money." My wife didn't say a word. She just got up with me. We gathered our kids and left. On the drive home, I didn't say much. I opened my phone and started canceling everything. I canceled the weekly transfers. I pulled the plug on their rent payments. I closed the shared accounts. I cut off the grocery card they used every month as if it were theirs. I was done. The next morning, Ryan showed up outside my house. No call, no text. He just showed up and started banging on my front door like it was a matter of life and death. He wasn't angry, he was desperate. He told me that they couldn't pay the rent, that their landlord had already called, and that they didn't even have enough gas to get to the food bank. Hannah was in the van behind him. I could hear her screaming even with the door shut. She wasn't asking, she was demanding. She was telling me that I couldn't do this to them, that I had responsibilities. She said I was selfish, and that was just the beginning of what turned into a full-on war. I didn't open the door that morning. I stood behind it and listened to Ryan's voice shift from pleading to panic. I knew that if I opened the door even a crack, he would start with a sob story and I would cave. That was the old me, the one who still thought they cared about something other than what I could give them deep down. So I let him knock, then I let him leave. 3 hours later, my mom called. I didn't answer. Then came the texts, first from her, then from Hannah. My dad didn't text. He never does, but I saw that he viewed my WhatsApp status, so I knew he was in the loop. The messages started out polite, "We need to talk, don't do anything rash, this is family." Then the tone changed. "How could you let your niece and nephew go hungry? Your sister is in tears, is that what you want? You're punishing children for adult problems, shame on you." It was like watching someone throw a tantrum in real time. The funny part was that not a single one of them asked me what I needed. No one asked, "Are you okay?" No one asked why I cut them off. Deep down, they already knew. By Tuesday, calls were coming from every direction. My uncle texted me. A cousin I hadn't seen in 2 years messaged me asking what was going on. Hannah had told everyone a watered-down version of events, portraying me as a cold-hearted brother who suddenly turned his back on the family. She kept using the phrase abandoning us. I ignored it all, that is until my mom showed up at my office. She never visits me at work ever. I was in the middle of a project meeting when my receptionist came in and told me that there was a woman there who insisted that she was my mother. I stepped out. There she was in the waiting area with her arms crossed, looking as if I just sold family secrets to a tabloid. She didn't ask if she could sit down. She didn't ask if I had time. She just launched into it. "You embarrassed Hannah, you hurt her children. She's your sister, Ethan." I kept my voice calm. I said, "You all sat there while she called me stingy. You all agreed with her after everything." She looked at me as if she couldn't understand me, like I was speaking another language. "She's struggling," she said. "She's not herself." I asked, "And what about me? Am I not allowed to get tired, to stop being a human ATM?" She replied, "You're better off than them." I nodded. Then I told her the truth. This wasn't about money. It was about disrespect. I said that I wasn't going to finance people who hated me for having what they chose not to earn. She didn't say much after that. She just stood up and walked out. She didn't even say goodbye. That night, I received a new message from Hannah. No hi, no can we talk, just this, you better fix this, Ethan. You won't like what happens if you don't. I stared at it for a long time, then I blocked her. She was right about one thing. She wasn't going to like what happened next. By Thursday, the silence felt suspicious. No calls, no texts, just quiet. That wasn't how Hannah operated when she wanted something. She clawed at it until she got it or burned everything down trying. Then I got the call, not from her, though, from their landlord. Apparently, Ryan and Hannah had told him that I was going through something and that the payments would resume once I'd calmed down.